Hi, family. Fifi here from wellnessparlor.com, holistic therapist and product maker. Today's video is going to be centered around the topic of you absolutely can have it all, just not at the same time. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not the bearer of bad news here, I promise, okay? Now, what I'm referring to is the fact that, on the one hand, there is a desire to have it all. But then on the other hand, there's also the exhaustion of having to keep it all going. Okay? Now, everybody in general and women in particular struggle with this concept. There's like an internal tension about whether or not you can have it all. And the way that people in general tend to deal with this is that they would just begin to go full speed ahead, 1,000 miles a minute towards having it all. And then a few things happen. There's burnout, so you just can't go anymore. There's also, the fear of failure or the realization of failure, because having it all means that you got to keep these balls in the air and juggling, and inadvertently something tends to fall. So, the way that I reconcile this concept is this: I believe that we all have access to infinite energy, right? We have access to infinite energy. However, I believe that we only have X amount of energy per day. Now, understand what I'm saying. I'm saying in general, we only have X amount of energy per day. We need to have the ability of prioritizing what needs the most energy for that day. You don't want to get into the habit of chasing absolutely everything all the time, because eventually the most important things begin to suffer. You have to be realistic with your time, be realistic with your energy while still holding yourself accountable, right? And prioritize what is most important and what needs to get done. Then you can portion that off and you can hit that. So, for example, I have a dear sister friend of mine. I remember a couple of years ago, now her and I share a very obsessive trait, okay? Which means that when we get our mind around a particular idea, we hold it and we shake it and we don't let go. Keep that in mind. There was a particular dollar amount that she wanted to be able to make to cover her expenses. And she decided that she was going to get multiple jobs to be able to cover these expenses. What ended up happening was, I remember very distinctly, she called me this Sunday. She said, I'm going to do retail on the weekends. I'm going to help my dad with his food delivery. And I'm going to do pizza delivery. Now, she was starting the Monday. She called me the Sunday night. This was 3 jobs. 3. Plus, she was working full time. I said to her, I said, good luck. Let me know how it goes. Because you don't want to be the one that, tells people that they can't do something. Sometimes people don't remember you very favorably when they hear certain things. So, you pick and choose what you tell them. So I said, let me know how it goes. Well, by Thursday or Friday, she was half dead. She was completely exhausted. She was working full time. She was delivering pizzas. She was helping her dad with the delivery. And then she still had Saturday and Sunday to do about 3 of those 4 things. And so the lesson there is, don't do that. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't almost kill yourself, because what tends to happen is that you might decide that you want to have it all right now, and you exhaust yourself to the point it might take you 2 to 3 months to recover, in which time you've lost motivation regarding the particular goal and you no longer have the zeal and zest of energy to put towards that particular goal. So portion it off, pace yourself. Because my dear friend nearly didn't make it. She was so exhausted, she was so tired, her body was literally shutting down after just a few days. Of course, we talked about it. We talked about why that happened, but she was still being led by the desire to have it all right now. We don't even understand, family, that a lot of things that we want, I would say about half of it, we only want it so that we could know that we're capable of having it. We only want to try it so that we know that we're capable of getting X, Y, and Z. And a lot of the things that we're chasing, if we are able to touch it once, right? So we've reached that point of like, yes, I did it. I know I did it. Once we're able to touch it one time, the desire for it leaves. Okay? And so I want you to keep that in mind, because it's not everything that you want that is going to be something that you want long term. A lot of things that you want is actually just to see if you could do it. It's like a personal challenge. And then the other half things are things that really you truly desire. And then I reckon about a third of the other half is things that you really, 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 really do want. Right? So what I want to impart on you, family, is the idea that you can have it all, just not at the same time. Prioritize, pace yourself, properly portion your work so that you will be able to still continue to hit whatever targets it is that you want without getting burnout and without being completely exhausted. Because once you have burnout and you have that exhaustion, you're not going to want to go back to that task, and it's going to take you even longer to complete because you just ran 1,000 miles an hour and now your body is wrecked, your mental health is in the basement, and you have nothing within you to dredge up to be able to carry on. So the idea of having it all can be very self-destructive if you do not pace yourself and be real about what it is that you can do. Start small. Start by dedicating half an hour, and then you can jump up. Once you realize that it's going the way you want it to and it's something that you truly desire, you can then begin to increase the times on it. But the idea that you're going to hit everything today, tomorrow, next week, next year, and next 10 years, unrealistic, and it's just setting yourself up for a very tough and painful mental, spiritual, and physical failure. Okay? So remember, family, you can have it all, just not at the same time, and that is okay, because the energy that it takes to keep all of what you want going is a lot. It is much more than you anticipated. Much, much more. So as you go towards your goals and your dreams and making things happen for yourself, also keep in mind that your rest is important, your mental health is important, and beating up on yourself day and night is counterproductive. So I hope that in your quest to have it all, you also remember that you're only one person and you must look after your vessel with as much vigor and fervor as you do chasing your goals and dreams and so on and so forth. Okay? All right. Take care.